Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at perhaps the prettiest beat 'em up of all time, except for maybe Combat Tribes. It's Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon for the Mega Drive. This 1994 release was published by MABA, and it was actually developed by Arc System Works. So this was back before they became the kings of the 2D fighters. And while the SNES version got a European release, this one remained exclusive to Japan. As far as the plot goes, well, you have all 5 Sailor Scouts to choose from, and they fight bad guys. I haven't seen the show since I was 10 years old, so I'm not exactly up to date on my Sailor Moon lore. It does feature Tuxedo Mask, though, so that's a plus. This is your basic beat 'em up, a la Streets of Rage or Final Fight, but it's missing a few of the staples of the genre. For instance, there are no weapons to use, which, admittedly, it might look out of place if Sailor Moon was bashing people's heads in with a lead pipe, but that doesn't mean that I didn't want to see it. You also don't get health power-ups from breaking things. Instead, they're just scattered around in the levels in the forms of cakes and ice creams, etc. There's even a level that's comprised entirely of cake and ice cream. One thing this game does do well is that each of the girls has a few special moves that are either executed by holding the attack button down for a few seconds or by inputting a button combination, which most beat-em-ups didn't do in the early 90s. And of course, you also have the obligatory power move, which drains a bit of your health. That's really about it. For the most part, this is a pretty generic beat-em-up. It's also really easy, but somehow really frustrating at the same time, mainly because every enemy in the game is faster than you and has a longer reach, except for Sailor Venus, of course, who fights using a whip. It's easy to get surrounded and pummeled, but other than that, this is a decent playing game. Definitely not on the level of Streets of Rage or TMNT, but still a fun play. The presentation here is actually a lot better than I might have thought. It's a Sailor Moon game, so obviously it's going to be really colorful with some odd-looking character designs, but there's typically a lot of detail in all of the stages as well, even some multiple layers here and there, which looks great. The character animations are a bit stiff, but the characters themselves look nice, so it evens out. The soundtrack is pretty good too. A lot of the tracks are more on the weak and whimsical side, but they still sound good, and the higher energy songs sound even better. You even get the Mega Drive rendition of the classic Sailor Moon theme, which is awesome. The sound effects are kind of weak and semi-muted sounding, but there are quite a lot of voice clips, and they sound pretty good. So on the whole, while it's not the best looking or sounding game on the Mega Drive, it is vibrant and pleasant to look at and listen to. I'd say the presentation and the license outshine the gameplay this time around. So this is a decent beat 'em up that you might want to get your hands on if you're a Sailor Moon fan. But if you missed out on it, don't feel bad. There are way better beat-em-ups out there than this one, and I'm willing to bet you've probably played them. Plus, copies of this game go online for $100 or more usually, which I definitely don't recommend paying for it. On the other hand, the Super Famicom version and its sequel can both be found for under $20, and they're just as good, if not better. So if you just can't get enough young girls in miniskirts beating bad guys senseless, then get yourself a little Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon action. It's the prettiest damn beat 'em up ever made.